Hey, Sean. Oh, there we go. Yep. All right. I should have let you tap on this. We'll go ahead and start the Westfield Washington School Board of School Trustees meeting is now in session. Thank you for joining us this evening. We're glad to see so many people here. Since we have a quorum, will we please stand for a moment of silence and pledge allegiance? It's now time for one of our favorite parts of the meeting, Student of the Month. Before we begin, a few details. Mr. David Dixon will be taking professional photos of each student as they receive their award. After all the students have been recognized, we will pause for a brief intermission. During this time, the Student of the Month, their families are invited to the lobby for refreshments, and Mr. Dixon will also be available in the lobby to capture photos of the students and their families and school representatives. And now we will begin with the Virginia F. Wood Early Learning Center.
Good evening. I'm Marcy Dorado. I'm the director of the Early Learning Center, and I am pleased to announce Avi Patel as our Student of the Month. He is in Mrs. Montgomery's class, and she says that he really shows empathy to all of the other students in the class and in the building. Mrs. Montgomery has a few things to say about Avi also.
Try not to cry. So this is what I submitted in order when I applied for him. Avi has shown incredible growth since the start of the school year, emerging as a kind friend, role model, and leader in the classroom. He always comes in with a big smile, ready to brighten everyone's day with his amazing personality and humor. Avi is eager to help his classmates when they struggle.
He's a pretty amazing
Yes.
kid.
And his positive attitude and intelligence inspire those around him. It's a joy to see his progress, and we look forward to watching him continue to thrive. This is my first year, so I'm very excited to have Avi.
We're so lucky at our school because we get to see kids from infants up through pre-K. We've had Avi now for a while. We get to have him again next year, we think, and we're excited about that. But it's fun to watch the growth, and Avi has shown such tremendous growth in all different areas. So we are so proud to honor him as our Rock Strong person this time. Student of the Month, Avi Patel.
Next up, Washington Woods.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah Zach, and I'm the proud principal at Washington Woods. And it is my pleasure tonight to introduce to you to this amazing young lady, Lillian Green. Every month, we try to recognize one of our 7 habits that we study at Washington Woods. And this month, we are modeling, or Lillian is recognized for modeling habit number 4, Think Win-Win. Think Win-Win is a belief that everyone can win. It is not me or you. It is both of us. Think Win-Win is being happy for others when good things happen to them. And today we have Lillian's teacher, Miss Cundiff, who also recognized her for habit number 4.
So I'm so fortunate to have this young lady in our classroom. She's such an amazing asset to our room. I just wanted to share a few things about her. She has done a great job at demonstrating habit 4, Think Win-Win. Lillian is often observed using fairness and kindness in the classroom. Whenever she works with a group, she helps to ensure that all students' voices are heard. Lillian is a big picture thinker, and she helps others focus on the end goal. She's really great at delegating within a group, and she's also very good at including others and making sure that their voices are heard and that they feel heard. Way to go, Lillian. I am so proud of you.
And I wanted to share that Lillian is a true example of a student who thinks win-win. She leads with empathy, making sure that everyone is understood. I have had the opportunity to see Lillian grow at Washington Woods. It feels like just yesterday she was coming in as a kindergartner during COVID to take her COGAT test. Do you remember taking that with me? And she was so tiny. I mean, you've just grown so much, which is amazing. During our time together at Washington Woods, we also did Girls on the Run together, and I was impressed with her never give up attitude. She was always cheering on her fellow teammates and truly leaned into the lessons of girl empowerment and support. Lillian is a passionate student and a great friend who shines her light for everyone to see. I am so proud of her caring heart and genuine leadership. Lillian and her family wanted to share these words. Lillian makes us so proud in so many ways. She works so hard at everything she's involved in, including school, guitar lessons, gymnastics, Girls on the Run, just to name a few. She's very conscientious and always setting a great example for her younger sibling, Logan. She is also a great help around the house, and she's always one to help me plan for every excursion, whether it's leaving the house for long-distance trips to grandmother's or an afternoon bike ride around Westfield. Lillian, we all want to say congratulations. We are super proud of you, and thank you for inspiring us all with your win-win attitude.
Congratulations. Next up, Carrie Ridge.
Hello, my name is Andy Hilton, and I'm the proud principal at Cary Ridge Elementary, and this is my buddy, Landon Brown. He is our student of the month. He's a 3rd grader in Miss Taylor's class, and he's just an awesome kid that works hard every day. He has the biggest smile, and each month we talk about different lifelines like empathy or perseverance, and he was recognized for his hard work, which we've been working on last month. So we have a few things that some people that work with him wrote, and we're going to let Miss Taylor share first.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening. Sorry. Landon is a very sweet, caring, and hardworking student. This year he has been working on problem solving, math problems, reading stories, and answering comprehension questions, and expressing his emotions. He has been working very hard for asking for breaks, raising his hand, or expressing how he feels during work sessions. He has made us so proud. He has grown so much, and he uses his problem skills every day. We are so proud and grateful to have him in our classroom.
And there were a lot of teachers that wanted to share things, but I'm just going to share a couple with you, buddy. So Mrs. Tuck, his speech teacher, said, Landon is a sweet boy and has made great progress in school. He works hard in speech sessions, and I always look forward to hearing, "Hi, Mrs. Speech," when I see him in the hallway. He brings a smile to my face. And then Mrs. Stalter, the music teacher, said, Landon brings joys and enthusiasm to the music room. He jumps into every activity with excitement, encouraging his classmates to be brave enough to try new things. He is kind-hearted and brings a smile to the faces of those around him. So congratulations, Landon, and everybody help me.
Congratulations. Next up, Maple Glen.
Good evening. I'm Mary Beth Fisher, the principal at Maple Glen Elementary, and we have a third grader, James Milstead, here with his teacher, Mrs. Meyer. And we knew that even though your nomination came through, that Mrs. Meyer would want to be here, but she's not going to be in your classroom for much longer. So we knew you had to be February. We couldn't push it off any farther. But James was nominated as one of our 4 pillars of being a Leaf Leader. Specifically, actually, Mrs. Meyer picked 3 of them, being a lifelong learner, empathetic, and flexible. And Mrs. Meyer shared in her nomination of you that James is a persistent learner, always doing his best. He pays attention, focuses on his work, and you can often find James helping others pick up their games or activities without asking him to do so. He is also very empathetic towards others as well. When he isn't at school working hard, you can find him on the soccer field or at home making a new art piece. He's always doing the right thing and treating people right. He's an example setter and hard worker. And he has very loving and supportive parents and gagas as well. And the best part was that last week on announcements, after we had selected James, we also got to announce him as a Leaf Leader Award winner last week on announcements. So he's had one heck of a week at Maple Glen, but that's really because of the things he chooses to do every day, all year long, and being recognized for that. So please congratulate James on being our Maple Glen Student of the Month.
Next up, Monon Trail.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jeremy Marvel. I'm the principal at Monon Trail, and I have Mrs. Demir, 4th grade teacher. And we are here to celebrate Adelaide Strope as our Student of the Month at Monon Trail. And we do Rocks Expectations as the things that we want our students to exemplify every single day. It's acronym for responsible, open-minded, collaborative, kindness, and self-aware. And Adelaide shows those every single day, all day. And even in the nomination that Ms. Demir shared, had all the reasons why she should deserve this, showing those expectations all day, every day. So one of the things I like to do is just interview the Student of the Month and some of the other students in the classroom, and they all said she's so kind, she smiles all the time, she's very helpful to every single adult and students in the classroom. And one person said, well, everybody, if they don't know what to do in the classroom, they always go to Adelaide because she's the one that's paying attention all the time. So it kind of made me laugh, but that's just who she is. So I'd like to have Ms. Demir share a little bit more.
I was really happy to nominate Adelaide as our Student of the Month. Adelaide is an excellent example of an outstanding rock. She is responsible in the classroom. She finishes all of her work on time, often doing more than what is expected of her. She's organized and loves to help her classmates try to be as well. She's open-minded, she listens to her friends' ideas, and never forces her own opinions on others. Adelaide shines during collaboration. She works well with others and has the respect of her classmates when she is a group leader. She is very, very kind. Adelaide's sweet and kind personality make it so she is well liked by her peers across all grade levels in our school. Lastly, she is self-aware. When Adelaide needs help or doesn't understand something, she will advocate for herself, knowing this is a key to her success. I am very proud of Adelaide and honored to have her in my class. Please help me celebrate Adelaide as our Student of the Month.
Congratulations. Next up, Oak Trace.
Good evening. My name is Christy Herring, and I'm the assistant principal at Oak Trace. And we have lots of friends here to celebrate Hayes. Hayes is our student of the month. And I have lots of things that people have said about him. His first grade peers said that he is a good friend to everyone. He loves to cheer on his friends. He's a great listener to teachers. He's a leader at specials because he always follows directions. Reagan, his friend in his class, said he is a good friend and he's fun. Mrs. George, his classroom teacher, said he's a light in our classroom. He always has a positive attitude and outlook on our activities. He works his best ability in every lesson. He's responsible when he travels around the building, and he's always ending where he needs to be. He's outgoing, and he engages his classmates to play. Mrs. Rocky said that he's a loving child, and he loves hugs. Hayes, you love hugs, don't you? Yeah, he loves hugs. And he sneaks up on people to give hugs. He's extremely smart with puzzles, and he can solve the most challenging puzzles every day. He amazes us day after day with all the awesome things that he does in the classroom. Mrs. Jills, right here, said that he's a pleasure to work with Hayes every day. She loves getting you off the bus in the morning because you are always happy to be at school. Your happiness lasts throughout the day as you smile and giggle while doing all of your lessons. When you go to specials, he proudly leads the way every day. His personality and easy and outgoing demeanor are always a joy. I have more. Miss Rihanna said that he's a bright young man, Miss Rihanna right here, and that he's always a pleasure to work with him in class. His laughter and delightful surprise hugs bring such a positive energy to our classroom. And she's incredibly proud of him for being named Oak Trace's Student of the Month. Mrs. Walker, the media teacher, said that he's a sweet boy and he enjoys all the stories that they read in the library. And then one of your best friends in your class says that you are happy and his friend. Help me congratulate Hayes for being our Student of the Month.
Congratulations. Next up, Shamrock Springs.
Good evening, everyone. Rob Hedges, principal at Shamrock Springs Elementary School. And this past month, we asked our specials teachers who've had a chance to see our students over a course of multiple different environments, multiple different years, to pick a student, someone who just exemplifies, our lifelines are just doing the right thing and treating people right. And Lily, what an honor. Guess who they picked?
Me.
Yes, all right. They picked you. So I'm going to share a few things that they said about her. Lily exemplifies our school motto, do the right things and treat people right. Every day she leads by example with quiet confidence, kindness, and integrity. She is hardworking, thoughtful student who treats her peers with respect and consistently follows school lifelines and procedures. And yes, I love that. Got a fan club over there. In STEM class and the robotics class, Lily demonstrates perseverance and problem-solving skills. Working well with any student she is paired with, her ability to tackle challenges independently while supporting her classmates makes her a true leader. All of her teachers, including her classroom teacher, Mrs. Kelly, described her as compassionate, hardworking, and an absolute joy to have in class. She approaches every task with a positive attitude and a willingness to help others, making her a role model for all Shamrock Springs students. Lily's quiet leadership and commitment to doing the right thing inspires those around her. We are proud to recognize her for the outstanding person she is. So let's hear it for Lily, Shamrock Springs Student of the Month.
Congratulations. Next up, Westfield Intermediate School.
Good evening. I'm Callie Harrell, Assistant Principal at Westfield Intermediate School, and I am excited to share our February Student of the Month with you, Sally Ocampo Sierra. I am joined up here as well by her STEM teacher, Mrs. Gorak, and Mrs. Christ and Mrs. Spriggs, two of her triad teachers who would like to say just a little bit about Sally.
Hi, I was lucky enough to have Sally last year in STEM class in 5th grade, and I had her again this year in 6th grade. And I nominated her because she inspired me as a teacher. So Sally, in my STEM class, it's a class where there's a lot of information and we have to present to the kids, and they are presented a problem and they have to end up with a prototype or solution at the end. And there's lots of details to get from point A to point B. Well, Sally led a group of students who did not speak English. They had English was their second language. So for them to get from point A to point B was a little more challenging than some of the other teams. And for our final project, the kids had to create a prototype, design a toy for a cerebral palsy patient that helped them in occupational therapy. So for this challenge, it was hard for her because she's also leading this group, but she's also having to explain to them in Spanish what they're supposed to be doing. So during this process, there were several times you could see Sally's, frustration because she's having one girl do one thing and another girl do another and another. I mean, they're doing 3 different parts of the project. And so then throughout, like halfway through, we have one girl who was absent. So they're down from 4 students down to 3. And then the other was absent. So then they're lacking the numbers to get this done. But Sally did not give up. What I loved about her was all of a sudden during their midday time, I see all the girls coming in. She drug them all with her. And she was determined to get this claw machine done. So their vision was this claw machine. And the claw machine, you had to make a hook, and the hook went in. And what the things they were pulling up, it was really clever. It wasn't like a stuffed animal like we think of, but they were makeup products. So she had one of her friends, Oriani, making the little makeup, different lipsticks and different types of makeup, and she had another girl making the hook. Then her and a brand new student that just came in during this project, that as soon as she heard there was a new student, she's like, I want Natalie on my team. She was taking this new girl in. So what I love about her is her leadership, that she did not give up, she persevered, she led this group of girls, and in the end, the coolest part was their toy was the most favorite toy in the entire class. Everyone oohed and awed over it, and I'm just really proud of her for her confidence, her leadership, and her not giving up and leading this group of girls to success.
All right, please join me in congratulating Sally one more time.
Congratulations. Next up, Westfield Middle School.
Good evening. I'm Stacy Swan. I'm principal at the middle school, and it is my privilege to recognize Max Carden as our Student of the Month. And Max is what you would like every 8th grade boy to be: goofy, funny, smart, kind, and hardworking. And I've had my eye on Max since the beginning of the year because his locker is right outside of my office where I do hall duty, and so 9 times a day I kind of see him. And I noticed early on, this kid's something special. And then come quarter 2, he's in our peer facilitating program, which is kind of like Best Buddies. And I watched him with his peer buddy, and his peer buddy's here tonight to celebrate him, and just saw the relationship that just grew, and they're, still friends even tonight, and I think ongoing for the rest of their lives. Hopefully, he says. So, and then as I'm kind of watching him, the other place he's a great leader is on the basketball court. And not so, very recently, he got injured, so he wasn't able to, to finish out the season. But as I watched the boys play, I noticed Max always standing, always cheering. And at one point in time, an opponent fell down, and he yelled at his teammates, "Help him up." And so that just shows what kind of character he is. So I'm going to read briefly some things from his teachers, and Mrs. Schwingendorf is here as well, so she can talk about how special he is to her too. So this is from Coach Dell. Max has been a student athlete at WMS for the past 2 years. During this time, Max has been one of the top basketball players, leading the Rocks to a 42-4 middle school record and 2 conference tournament championships. So we can celebrate our 8th grade boys basketball team too, because they had a great season too. And Max is the type of player who brings a natural energy and spreads to his teammates. And unfortunately, with a few games left in 8th grade season, Max suffered an injury that knocked him out for the year. Of course, this was tough for Max and the team, but Max stayed positive and continued to be encouraging on the sidelines. By the time the season was over, they were calling him Coach Carden. So, and then Mr. Edwards' math teacher says Max is a true leader in the math classroom. He's a student that consistently helps other students when he is finished with a task. Max gets to work right away and leads by example. He always participates in class discussions, and he's kind to those who are struggling. So, Mrs. Schwingendorf.
Thank you. Okay. The other Viper teachers wanted to be here to celebrate with you tonight, but we're all sick. So, no, I'm on day 7 or something. I'm fine. Going back to school tomorrow, I promise. Okay. Max, you're one of those kids that's always doing the right thing. And Miss Swan is right. That's tough to find in an 8th grade boy. Their hands are all over the place, and they're always goofing around, but you know what you're doing, and you kind of get it. And I know you know that because I see that look in your eyes in social studies class. And we can count on you to be a good leader, a project leader, a group leader, and all the teachers feel the same way, that you're definitely going to be a leader in some respect. And we're just grateful that you're on our team, doing the right thing with all of your other Vipers, just leading them to awesomeness all the time.
Max is one of those kids that does the right thing when no one's looking and does the right thing when everyone is looking. So let's celebrate Max for being our Student of the Month.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Next up, Westfield High School.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bill Noss, Associate Principal at Westfield High School. Congratulations, Max. I'm super excited to have you at school next year. Now, listen closely as I introduce Asha, because she has done it right the last 4 years. Actually, she's done it right, I think, for the last 12 years, because as I came here, teachers and administrators, I noticed them walking up to Asha, saying hi to her, asking her how she's doing, and how she carries herself with adults is fantastic. So Asha Adhikari is the high school's Student of the Month. We're super excited to celebrate her. So congratulations, Asha. I have a few things to read about Asha as well. I was going to read them all, but then people back there told me I couldn't. So I got my highlighter out, and I'm going to read all the good things here in a quicker version. Okay, Asha, pay attention here. Asha is one of the most intelligent, kind, selfless, and all-around amazing students I've ever had the pleasure of working with. She is a tremendous positive influence in class. Asha is extremely driven and engaged. Asha is one of my all-time favorite students. Asha does an amazing job of learning for the sake of knowledge and improving herself. That's what we want all our students to do. Thank you, Asha. Her positive attitude is infectious. Her personality lights up a room. She is a natural leader, a kind human, and a really cool person. Asha represents all that is good in our district. This is one of my favorite. I know we're not allowed to pick favorites, but if I was forced to, Asha would be an easy choice. She is one of the brightest students I've taught in 25 years, one of the kindest as well. She is a hard worker, strives to do her best always, and is just overall great to have in class. Listen here now. If I could have a few like her every year, I would consider teaching until I was 90 years old. Right on. So, Asha is awesome. She does well in the classroom. She fills her schedule up with as many AP classes, I think, that she can, so that is great. She just finished an AP research project. What was that? What was your research?
It was about health service engagement and homelessness.
So there you go. She's service leadership at the max, right? She is so not only great in the classroom, but she's president of our club Hope, and that's a club that is an outreach to homelessness. So always that service leader. I knew that she was awesome when I heard that she had picked Indiana University to continue her studies. So go Hoosiers. She plans to do something in nonprofit management and community health. So continuing to always improve the community and the people around her. So thank you, Asha, for all that you do.
Congratulations. Congratulations to all the February Students of the Month. After we present the Rock Strong Awards, students and their families will be invited to the lobby for refreshments and pictures. Next up, another highlight in the quarterly, this is a quarterly presentation of the Rock Strong Awards. Thank you to Everwise Credit Union and the Westfield Education Foundation for their sponsorship of these awards. At this time, I would like to invite Ashley Knott, Executive Director of the Westfield Education Foundation, and representatives of Everwise to present the Rock Strong Awards.
Thank you, Mike. I would like to introduce and thank Julia Brooks and Catherine Miller from Everwise. So it's with the support of Everwise Credit Union that we're able to just appreciate our staff a little bit more with the Rock Strong Awards. So without them, we wouldn't be able to do this every month. So thank you guys for being here. We'll get started tonight. Our first employee is not here tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and read and honor him, and then we'll move on to the next one. Aiden Fruit is with BAC. Aiden is a fantastic and crucial part of BAC team. When BAC was in need of a lead, Aiden graciously stepped up to the plate. He takes the time to build relationships with each student in his program. Aiden is always there to listen to his students and help them in any way he can. He continuously shows support by stepping in and helping whenever is needed. We are so thankful to have Aiden on our BAC team. So let's congratulate Aiden. Our next nominee is from the Early Learning Center, Nora Bentavoli. Did I get it close? Did I close? Okay. Nora is a valuable team member of the Early Learning Center. She is our ECAT coordinator and the first contact for many families in the district. She supports families with a welcoming smile and a greeting. Testing a preschool student can be overwhelming to families. Nora takes the time to explain and process, answer questions, and support the Westfield families through this experience. She goes above and beyond and truly makes a difference for our Westfield families. Thank you for being rock strong. I'm gonna take a picture of her. Jen Riviera from Cary Ridge Elementary School. Jen goes above and beyond to meet the needs of all learners in her classroom. She creates and executes engaging learning activities, holds high expectations for all students, and provides a safe and fun-loving classroom community, all while working alongside families to provide the best kindergarten experience for each student in her classroom. Cary Ridge is lucky to have her. Thank you for being rock strong. Maple Glen Elementary School, Brianna Divot. Many teachers share a passion for working with children, but Ms. Divot's first grade teacher is exceptional. Her energy, her drive, her clear communication, and her obvious love for her students and her job is obvious in every interaction with families that she serves. She plays an integral role with her students' lives. We cannot think of a more deserving individual for this Rock Strong Award. Congratulations. Monon Trail, Annie Zipes. Annie exemplifies the meaning of rock strong every day, both inside and outside of school. Her dedication to our students is truly inspiring. The care and concern she shows for each child is heartwarming. The incredible bonds she builds with her students go far beyond the school doors, leaving a lasting impact on their lives. Thank you for being rock strong. Oak Trace Elementary. Jill Anderson is not able to be here, but we'll still honor her. Jill has taken a new role this year and has done a fabulous job. She has gone above and beyond to take on this role. She ensured that students and staff did not miss a beat with the various changes. She pushes her students to learn as much as possible. She is not afraid to ask questions and reach out to the appropriate people. She advocates for students' needs, works well with others, and cares deeply for her students and staff. We are so lucky to have Jill Anderson at Oak Trace. She is rock strong. Shamrock Springs Elementary. Susan Hahn. Is she here? Yeah. Susan is an incredible STEM teacher whose influence at Shamrock Springs and beyond is immeasurable. She has not only founded the STEM program at Shamrock Springs Elementary School, but also instrumental in expanding it district-wide. Her vision and dedication have made hands-on, inquiry-based STEM learning a core part of our students' education. Her work will leave a lasting legacy, and I can't imagine a more deserving person of this award. Thank you for being rock strong. Washington Woods Elementary School. Kelly Hoffman was unable to be here, but we will honor her. Kelly Hoffman is truly dedicated to the children she works with, consistently showing a deep understanding of each student's individual needs. Kelly is always striving to ensure that every child receives the support that they require to thrive. She builds trusting relationships and makes sure each child feels valued and understood. We are incredibly fortunate to have her as part of our team. Her dedication makes a lasting impact on the lives of children she helps. She's rock strong. Westfield Intermediate School, Stephanie Phillips. Stephanie has a remarkable ability to create a positive learning environment where all students feel welcome and supported. She understands the diverse needs of her students and goes out of her way to differentiate her instruction, ensuring that each child can access the curriculum. Her calm and collective demeanor in the classroom is inspiring. She radiates positivity and serves as a ray of sunshine for both her students and colleagues. Thank you for being Rock Strong. Westfield Middle School, Lauren Smith. Lauren is completely dedicated to her students at Westfield Middle School. She goes above and beyond every day to provide engaging lessons for the EL students, the staff members, and is excited to do so. She is always looking to better herself and those around her in positive ways. She uses data and standards in every lesson she plans. She is always willing to help other staff members when needed and keeps a smile on her face, which can be hard to do some days. Thank you for being Rock Strong. Westfield High School, Mark Ewing. Mark exemplifies being rock strong. Mark works with our students in many ways, each contributing positively to our building and our community. Mark started our Helping Hands class, during which students travel to local elementary schools to work one-on-one with students. He is also an integral part of our mentoring and leadership course, designed for juniors, which allows students to learn about themselves and become effective leaders in society. He is a beacon of positivity and encouragement and pours these characteristics into our students. Thank you, Mark, for being Rock Strong. Operations. We have a duo here, Ingrid Stewart and Stacy Morris. I teased them they were the dream team. They make sure the buses come and go, which is so important, so we're thankful to have them here. We want to celebrate and express our gratitude for Ingrid and Stacy and our transportation department. Their dedication and tireless efforts truly exemplify going above and beyond. Not only do they keep the front office running seamlessly, train our drivers, handle countless phone calls with patience and professionalism, but also step in to drive when we're short on drivers. Their willingness to roll up their sleeves and do whatever it takes to keep them moving in is nothing short of remarkable. Ingrid and Stacy, thank you for your hard work and commitment to ensuring our staff and students are supported every single day. You are making a real difference. We are lucky to have you. Thank you for being Rock Strong.
Congratulations again, and thank you again for all that you do for our Westfield schools. At this time, we invite everyone to the lobby for professional photographs and refreshments. We will reconvene for the public hearing and business portion of the meeting in 20 minutes. twice as much as we normally have. There is no public comments or anything else on the internet or walk-in, so we'll go ahead and go from there. The next item on the agenda is going to be the approval of the consent agenda. Consent items include board minutes, accounts payable, vouchers, payroll vouchers, personal report, fiscal management authorizations, and authorization of bonds. All items in the consent agenda have been reviewed by the board in advance of the meeting and are approved in a single motion. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
I have a so moved. Do I have a second? Second. Any discussions on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. The motion passes. At this time, I'm going to introduce Chris Baldwin.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I have a special announcement to make this evening. You just approved in personnel the new principal of our newest elementary school, Midland Crossing Elementary School. We'd like to congratulate Mary Beth Fisher. Congratulations. So Mary Beth, I know you have family and friends here. If you'd like to get up and introduce, speak, whatever you'd like to say, but we want to say congratulations. Thank you for your years of service, obviously, to Maple Glen, and looking forward to your future at Midland Crossing.
Thank you. I just wanted to double the.
Thank you and congratulations. Sorry about that. Every month, we look forward to hearing updates from the construction partners on the projects taking place throughout the district. Tonight, we are pleased to welcome two of the construction managers to provide updates on several Destination Westfield projects. We will hear from Mike from the Hagerman Group first.
What do I do? Is it working now? Okay, thank you. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Board of Trustees, and everyone in the audience. Thank you very much for this opportunity to present to you this evening. So as you know, it's winter, right? And we've got some progress photos. We are working on foundations right now. We have the building pad up, and so there's some photos, some aerial photos and some site photos for you there. That's an overall site looking from the west back to the east. And I want to also say I have Mr. Brent Height with CSO, the lead architect here. So he can help fill in any gaps I might miss. We collaborate on this. So work completed to date. A big thank you to the City of Westfield for the local building permit. They gave us an early grading package, early grading permit, and they most recently issued the improvement location permit and the building permit. I was getting a little anxious on that. So we have that. We're continuing to work on project submittals and shop drawings and performing our BIM coordination. As mentioned, the building pad and retention pond work started back on 8/27, back when it was warm and dry. Building concrete foundation started on 12/12, and we are in concert also working on the deep building underground storm and sanitary lines so we can not undermine any footings when we do that. The next 60 days We'll continue with shop drawings and submittals and material procurement for the project. I think Brent and his team are even going to start picking colors soon for interior things. We're continuing with the BIM coordination. We'll hopefully be able to start this site storm work. We'll continue with building foundations, deep underground for storm and sewer. And the big event is we hope to start setting the structural steel on March 10th. That's what we're planned for. And obviously the school opens fall 27. Financials, there's the contract amount. There's what's billed to date through the end of January. We've spent $0 out of the owner designer allowance and $0 out of the CMC contingency so far. We are currently working on some site and civil changes to incorporate some of the City of Westfield final review comments and add the People Trail along State Road 32. So we'll get that pricing in to the team here. Other events, the water and sewer main extension work. Others are bringing the sanitary sewer main and the water main to our project site so that we can connect our lateral lines to them. We don't have that date, but we're working to obtain that date. And then the design team of CSO Context and AF Engineering, they're currently in design for the Centennial Road and State Road 32 intersection improvements. So the construction documents and bid date will follow on that. There's an elevation. Thank you for this opportunity. Any questions?
You mentioned a couple times BIM something. What is that?
Sure, thank you. So the latest thing out there is what it's called. We call it BIM. It's Building Information Modeling. So we take the Revit model or whatever models the design team has, and then we basically go in and say, for example, where all the openings in the roof go. We get those coordinated down so the roof drains hit in the steel correctly or any rooftop unit set on it. But more importantly, all the things above the ceiling, we try to layer those so we don't have clashes or where two things would be in the same space. So when the materials get fabricated, like ductwork, for example, and electrical conduits, when it comes out, it fits. And the guys aren't standing around saying, well, you're in my way, you put your plumbing pipe where I'm supposed to have my ductwork, things of that nature. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Next up, we invite Jake from Garmin Construction.
Good evening. Don't want to sound too redundant, but we've got two elementary schools here that are very similar. So as we click through, I'm going to give you an update on the Midland Spring first and then Shamrock Springs second. Go ahead. Do I have a clicker? Oh, I do. Let's see here. All right. Midland Crossing Elementary School. It's been a cold January. We've been working through the snow and the ice. Our building foundations are about 60% complete now. Building pad has been chemically stabilized and stone is on it. Our storm detention ponds are excavated about 60%. They're on site working on the ponds, and the storm sewer system is about 50%. As you drive by as well, there's about 40 of the geothermal wells are installed. Anywhere between 4 to 6 drill rigs out there a day, and they can drill 1 well a day, and there's about 240 in the field. So that work will continue on for a while. Looking ahead, we're hoping to have our foundation concrete complete, excavation of both ponds. We're also finishing up with Citizens Energy Group on the water line and the sanitary. They've made some comments to the design and getting that resolved. So that work will be beginning soon. We'll continue on the geothermal wells. Our block foundation walls, low grade, will be finished, and you'll start to see the gymnasium walls going up here soon. And then structural steel is beginning in the first week of March. So things will start to come out of the ground, and you'll be able to visibly see it as you drive by. Our contingency on this project actually went up a little bit. There was a little bit of design coordination and some things that gave that a small tick up since we've started. And I've got an aerial photo you can see on the left of what the building looks like, and then foundation walls that the mason has been installing. On Shamrock Springs, this job is roughly about 2 months behind the Midland project from bidding and procurement and on-site. But we finally do have all the permitting through the town of Westfield. Concession stand was removed, site demo has begun, all the SWIP is installed. Site development and masquerading is ongoing right now. And the building pad should be established and ready for foundations to begin here in the next couple weeks at the end of the month. A lot of what you're seeing now at the other school will happen here at Shamrock. We're going to be starting geothermal wells, footing foundation, block install, storm underground, and a fire loop around the building. Contingency is unused on this project to date. Oop, went too far. Here's an aerial of the Shamrock Springs site. You can see this was taken last week. I'm starting to, that parking lot there on the bottom will come out soon, and the school will be almost touching the other school. And then this is a video that I don't know if you can play or not, but so similar to the BIM technology, this is a drone 3D scanning technology. It's like Google Earth. So we've got our own Google Earth, and if you play the video, it'll go through and it'll actually do some 3D images where you can see right now the excavators and some of the equipment on site. But as the building comes up, we'll be able to overlay those, and it'll fly the same pattern every 2 weeks right now and get real-time, up-to-date. Sorry? Okay, perfect. All right. Technology let us down. We tried. Let's see. That's all I have. Any questions?
So you mentioned SWIP earlier.
Yeah.
What is that?
Stormwater prevention, pollution.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry,
Well,
I use a lot of acronyms in the industry, and got to slow down sometimes.
Well, I had all the construction sites. There's a lot more water at Midland Crossing, but it'll go away. But Shamrock was pretty dry.
Yes.
And I saw blocks on the ground at Midland, which is always a good sign.
Yep, we've got block
So-
on the ground. I think I had 8 or 9 masons there today. So.
Yeah, so it'll get moving quickly, so. And failure is not an option. We'll open up the fall of '26.
That is correct.
Any other questions? Thank you, Jake. Thank you
Thank you.
both
Appreciate it.
for the updates. Very much appreciated. Do I need to go? Nope. Up next is the agenda is for the SSC contract with Brian Tom Michael, informing us of what's going on.
Awesome, thank you. So we've been in contract with SSC, who performs our custodial work for the last roughly 4 to 5 years. At this point, we have continually, with the help of Mike Hall, been looking at possibly bringing our custodial in-house. However, as we continue to look at that, we are just not at a point where that really makes full financial sense yet at this time. And then also with Mike and the help of his team, SSC has really stepped it up in the last year and improved their services. Not saying there's not still room for improvement, but they've really taken the step in the right direction as Mike's been working with them as well. So what we're asking for is for a 3-year extension with our SSC contract. It has a 3.5% increase from last year to this year. When we look at inflation and just the cost of goods as a whole, we feel like that's a very reasonable request on their part. And then as we look in the future, we do understand as we bring more square footage online, we will have to continue to look at the cost of that contract as well. And then with Mike and then Luke Hildebrand, we are continuing to look at the cost of bringing that in-house. So this contract does, at the end of December every year, have a opt-out date to cancel for that next year. So if we continue to look at this and find a year where, hey, this just doesn't make sense anymore as we continue to grow and it makes sense to bring it in-house, then that would be our recommendation. But in that meantime, what we didn't want to do, knowing that long-term we do believe we'll bring in-house, is switch companies, have all those employees who we would want to bring on in-house, switch to a new parent company, have to change all that on their end, probably lose some employees during that transition. So we felt like it was best to stay with SSC as we move forward. Again, they've been a good partner, and then we will continue to evaluate year over year as we move forward.
Thank you. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the Amendment 7 to the SSC contract as presented. I have a so moved. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a second. It has been moved and second to approve the Amendment 7 to the SSC contract. Is there any questions or discussions anybody has?
Well, I just want to say thanks again. I know Brian spent a lot of time over the years. We've been talking about this for as long as I've been on the board and wavering back and forth between different vendors and bringing it in-house. I know Mike has spent a ton of time working with the vendors and getting them to do what we need them to do. So thank you guys for doing that. We'll continue to weigh our options.
I agree with Bill. You guys have put in a lot of time and effort into this, and we appreciate everything you guys have done. Any further questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. The motion has passed. Thank you, Brian. We will return to you for the approval of the farmland contract, please.
Yep, so the district currently has about 65 to 80 acres of farmland that is not being built on. We have about 20 acres on Casey Road, and then we have about 60 farmable acres on 32 between where the new transportation's going in on town and then between Little Eagle Creek. We've been working with the Roberts family to farm all of our land back before Midland was being constructed, and then also the Casey Road property for several years. This past year, we did not farm any of the property out on 32 just because of the construction site and all the infrastructure going through. But they've been great to work with, and actually, because we did not farm that land this year, they actually bush hogged all 65 acres for us for free at the end of the year when we were looking at wanting to bring the land back up for being farming. So they've been great partners with us. We are asking the board to continue to work with them for this next year. It is farming roughly 85 acres of land, give or take a little bit as they work through and farm it, and that will generate roughly about $15,000 in revenue on farm income. It is a one-year contract. Our plan would be, as we wrap up transportation this year and all the utilities go through it and we know exactly what's available to farm for the 26 year, that we would do a full rebid of the farmland contract and re-enter into a longer term, like 3-year contract like we've done in the past. But for now, we would ask that we extend that one-year contract one more year with the Robert family to farm our 2 parcels of land.
Very good. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the farming contract with the Roberts family as presented.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I got a second. It has been moved and second to approve the farming contract in the Roberts family. Is there any questions?
I don't know if it's possible if we could involve the FFA kids in this process in the future, not now, but just a thought for the future, so we get them exposed.
Yeah, so the Roberts family actually does work with our FFA kids right now, and they have offered as we continue to go along, if we want to utilize one of the sites, they're more than happy to work with us on that as well.
That's awesome.
Very nice. All right. No further discussions. Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The motion passes. We will now hear from Brian again on the next agenda item, outstanding checks.
So each year, at the beginning of the year, the board has to approve authorization for us to void any checks that are beyond 2 years of outstanding. You'll notice on the list, it is a very small list for the number of checks that we write, because I will say our building level and then also our district level, they spend a lot of time ensuring that as many checks as possible get cashed, but sometimes there are individuals who just don't. So with Resolution 2025-2, it just provides permission for us to write those checks off and move forward. And all those are beyond 2 years as of the end of the calendar year 24. So just an annual process that we go through, and we will continue to do this as we move forward. Happy to answer any questions.
At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the resolution of 2025-2, authorization to void outstanding checks as presented.
So moved.
I got a so moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. It's been moved and second to approve the resolution of 2025-2 to void the outstanding checks. Anybody have any questions? No further discussion or questions? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is passed. Our final item on the business portion of the agenda is the approval of the Westfield High School FCCLA Club field trip, which Brian, Tom, and Michael will present again. Thank you.
So at our last board meeting, the board approved the middle school's FCCLA trip to the State Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America Conference in Muncie. At that time, we did not have the information in for the high school, so this is just requesting for the high school to be able to attend the exact same conference with the exact same cost of the $275 per student, and they will be responsible for paying it. So just asking for the high school to have the same permission as the middle school already has.
Thank you. At this time, we're entertaining a motion to approve the Westfield High School FCCLA Club overnight field trip as presented.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. It has been moved and seconded. Anybody have any questions or discussions?
I know I always say it, but I think we're really proud to have our rock star, Mrs. Heflin, in the program. It's a real gem of a program in the state, so very glad to have it.
Very good. Any other questions or statements? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes. Mr. Tom or Michael, we will come back to you again for the first policy agenda item, the revision of policy F275, gifts and donations.
Yep, so during one of our recent policy updates, we just quite frankly overlooked policy F275, gift and donations, changed our donation limit that requires board approval from $5,000 to $100. In the past, we have kept that limit at $5,000 because quite frankly, at $100, you're gonna have a laundry list every month to approve from all of our different school events and everything else going on. We did bring this up in our finance committee, and Rebecca did bring up and ask that if we could work up and have just a general listing of all donations every month, just so you're aware. So starting in March, and really after approval tonight, we'll send that out to the schools and just ask if they every month can provide us of any donations below that $5,000 threshold for you to see and be made aware of at each board meeting, but actual board action would not be required unless it was at that $5,000 threshold or above. So we're just requesting that we amend the policy to increase that amount back up to the $5,000, and then we will prepare a listing every month of all of their donations.
Thanks. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the revised revision of the policy F275, gifts and donations as presented.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. It has been moved and second to approve the revision of policy F275, gifts and donation. Anybody have any questions? And this is just for transparency, because it'll be out there for the public to see some of that too, or?
Yeah, transparency, it gives you guys an opportunity to recognize anybody who's giving a smaller gift as well. For some organizations, a smaller gift may be the most they can give, and we still want to say thank you. And then on the larger side, so one item we're currently working through is possibly a donation of field lighting at one of our spots. So a lot of that comes down to, we want to make sure the board understands on those larger donations what's coming in, and that it fits what we need as a district, and it fits what we want to do as a district as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
I cannot say anything else at this time.
Any other questions, statements? Thank you again, Brian. Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The motion is passed. Thank you. Oh, I think we stay with Brian, don't we? Is that right, guy? We will now turn things, thank you, Brian, for everything. We'll now turn things over to Dr. Atha for the second reading of Batch 11 policies.
Thank you, Mr. Still, members of the board. So 2 policy things. First, just a reminder, as Brian mentioned, we did a comprehensive review and update of all of our policies, working with our attorneys, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim. And so we did a first read of Batch 11. There were 2 policies, policy A275, school wellness, and G360, data breach and protection. We did those in November, so These policies have been posted on our website under board docs since November 12th, and they have been reviewed by our district leaders and key personnel. So tonight, we are asking that the board approve batch 11 and those two policies upon second reading.
All right, at this time, I will entertain a motion to approve batch 11 policies as presented.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
It has been moved and second to approve the batch 11 policies. Is there any discussions or any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion is passed. Thank you. And now for policy C126, participation of non-public and homeschooled students, we go back to Dr. Atha.
Thank you, Mr. Still. So this, as we've done this review, we have just a few policies that they're maybe unique to us. And so Church on Antrim had to, then we're going back and maybe taking care of those few policies with an update. So this is one, our current policy of 10,000-51 is for non-public student participation in a public school. And really that policy is outdated with the changes of how the state funds students and how we participate in extracurriculars. And, all of our coaches are paid through the education fund. We have required that students be 100% enrolled in our schools to participate in co-curricular and extracurricular activities. This policy is a little unclear in spots about that, so we want to replace that policy with this new policy, which is C126. And so actually, I've had in the past month a couple conversations with parents who aren't enrolled in our schools but are enrolled in a private school or a non-public school. And so we feel like we're going to ask the board to approve this policy in one read so we can get that replacement. It actually matches what we do in practice, and so what we've told and this always happens at the high school for the most part, occasionally at the middle school, our guidance department typically says, our practice is this, and then someone might say, well, that's not how I read the policy, and then it comes to me. So, we would appreciate the board considering adopting this on first read, and then we can replace and sunset the old policy with this policy.
Very good. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve policy 6126 on the first reading as presented.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Has been moved and second to approve policy 6126 on the first reading. Is there any discussion or any questions? No further discussions. Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. Are opposed? Say nay. The motion passes. Curriculum update. Thank you, Dr. Atha.
You're welcome. And just real quickly, we have, again, things that have been just ongoing. Last week, we had a great meeting on Thursday with our math curriculum team as we continue to work on adapting our Reveal adoption from last year. This Thursday, we'll be meeting with our English language arts teams to continue to adapt and to discuss our CKLA adoption. And then today we had another new educator academy that Dr. Hoover and our coaches run at each level, just supporting our new teachers to the district. And so just want to acknowledge that work continues and thank our coaches and actually the teachers involved in that math and English language arts work. They have to prepare for a sub when we do that and leave their kiddos and come over. And they're really engaged and really committed to that work. So thank those teacher leaders for taking on that extra effort to help us out.
Thank you. Now we'll hear from Ashley Knott about the latest communications and community engagement.
Thank you, Mike. This past month, I was able to travel to Bosma, which is a location in Indianapolis that employs students with vision impairment. And I asked them for a grant to purchase vision screeners for our elementary schools to support them, and they're going to purchase 4 new screeners with the help of Teresa Layton. So it'll allow every student to have better access and earlier detection. So that was really a great opportunity and a great plant to visit. They also have some different opportunities for our high school students for after-school employability and a few other things. So another door open. We're preparing for our 8th annual Top Golf event. We have quite a few sponsors already, but we have some spots. That is our biggest fundraiser for the Education Foundation and allows us to supply and teacher grants, student scholarships, and extra programs. So we're excited for that event. We're preparing for an event at the middle school called Strong Minds, Strong Choices, and we have Chris and Kristen Ballard as the keynote speakers. So that's pretty exciting. They're parents of 5 here in Westfield in our schools, and they are going to open the conversation. We'll have a student panel that will come speak and support parents and share some of their experiences and try to guide some parents, as well as some breakout sessions. So that's pretty fun. We will have a ribbon cutting on April 1st for the new tennis court center. That is the first home match for girls against Carmel. So come and join us if you want to explore its locker rooms, restrooms, concessions, but a new facility to support our students. So thanks to CSO and Core Construction for their hard work to finish that project in time for the season. Rock and Bowl, a staff appreciation event, just opened this afternoon for our staff. This year, normally we host Laugh It Off, but we're a little twist. We're going to be bowling this year, so everybody get your bowling shoes on, and it'll be a great night for staff to just come together, especially as we continue to grow and everybody kind of shifts here and there. Getting to know our different colleagues across the district has a lot of great advantage for building culture around here. So lots of good things going.
Awesome, thank you. All right, next up, board members and Dr. Kaiser, we'd like to share success stories of the past month.
Well, I'll start out and just give a shout out to our curriculum team and our instructional coaches. Over the last 3 years, we've adopted a new science curriculum, a new social studies curriculum, a new math curriculum, and now our reading language arts curriculum, and we still have work to do with our high school, but the consensus process they put in place, both Ryan and John, has been outstanding. And our coaches and our teachers have just worked extremely hard. We're going through our mid-year system and system meetings. Stacy, thank you for keeping us on track on scheduling those, but we come out of those meetings just excited about the things that are taking place in our classrooms and our buildings. So just a special thanks to all those involved with our curriculum instruction, especially our teachers, who are the foundation of what we do to be successful. Again, a special shout out to them.
Just to ask, Ashley, did you mention to our building partners that we still have openings for sponsorships?
We do. Tell your
Golf
friends.
outing?
We do have,
You mentioned that?
all the
Okay,
building
just
partners
making sure.
here are our sponsors, so they already got their lanes reserved for Top Golf, but we do have some. This is the 8th annual event, so hopefully they all come back.
Very good. Congratulations to the wrestling team. They won sectionals 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, sectionals and regionals 2 weeks ago. They're taking 10 wrestlers to the semi-state that starts at 9 a.m. at Newcastle. If they win their first 2 matches, they qualify for state, which is a huge deal. I was lucky enough to have one of my sons make it down there. And the following weekend will be at the field house where the Fever play for the state tournament. Friday night, if you win Friday night, you're guaranteed to place in the top 8 in state. So Westfield's come a long way. 2 years ago, they were second to last in the conference. This year, I think they were third, winning sectionals and regionals and having a good chance of making a run at semi-state. So congratulations to the wrestling team and Tom Griffin.
I just wanted to wish Dr. Kaiser a belated happy birthday. I heard it was great Italian food and desserts. And then also wanted to recognize Jean Jackson. A few of us got to go watch her receive the Westfield Washington School Award of Distinction at the Lantern Awards on the 20th of January. So just shout out to her for all the great work that she did to deserve that award.
I just have a couple of things. Along the lines of successful athletes, we have 12 lady swimmers going to state, so that's awesome. And then part of the alumni group that Ashley and I sit on, we hosted the Winter Alumni Evening, and thanks to Chef Paul for making a ton of spaghetti. And then thanks to Braden Smith for donating the basketballs. So it was a fun night on the court. That's all I got for January.
Yes, go ahead.
Our Lady Rocks knocked off a great Noblesville team Friday night to make it into the finals, right, on Saturday. Their season ended on Saturday against Fishers, but what a fantastic season they had. So congratulations to Lady Rocks. I should mention Dr. Kaiser does look a lot less stressed. I'm not sure why this week. But anyway, it's good seeing you.
I will add, we played the #1 team, Hamilton Southeastern, and had a lead in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And again, they were undefeated, and we played very well. So congratulations to our whole team.
Our next regular board meeting will be March 11th at 6:30. Same bat time, same bat channel. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Do I have a second? Meeting is adjourned.